Hey, how are you? Yes, it's me. In person. I'm really here. No, the explosion really did happen. I got caught by the explosion, and some doctors tried to save me. And they did a pretty good job in keeping me alive. If I'm being honest, the doctors couldn't save everything. My vocal cords were one of those things they couldn't save. Not completely, anyways. At least it sounds kind of cool. Oh, sure. I'd like to come in. So, you never did tell me how you've been. That's unfortunate. But I'm back now. Good as new. I'm good as new. I would have come sooner, but the doctors wanted to run some tests to make sure that there would be no major complications with the procedure. Didn't want to find out that I step out into the rain and melt like alphaba. Not that rain is bad for me. I mean, it is bad for me, but less like I'm melting and more like I might not have the full toolkit most people have. Well, as it turns out, I lost a lot that day. Lost at least an ear, an arm and my legs, half my torso, but it's not all bad. I got some prosthetics, a fancy sound processor that works pretty much like how an actual ear works, some sort of voice synthesizer, and some synthesized skin to make up for the burnt stuff. So I'm almost human again. I don't know if having prosthetic limbs would make me a cyborg, but technically, you are right. Officially, I'm an Omega Corporation techno-organism. Unofficially, I'm a cyborg. Yeah, the Omega Corporation. The same one as the famous online bookstore. No idea why they sponsored a hospital, but they were the ones that gave the doctors the stuff they needed to turn me into this. You know, I find it funny that such a life-changing procedure should have made me feel different about myself. Maybe a strange feeling of being in a body that's not my own, or feeling like a freak or a superhero. I still feel like me, but it's obvious that I've changed. Trust me, it's not a good thing. Not in my case. Could you hold my hand? Just for a moment. Feels weird, doesn't it? It's a synthetic skin that feels like a cross between flesh and rubber. If that wasn't bad enough, I can't even feel things anymore. It's not like I can't feel happiness or anything, but I can't feel the warmth of your hand, or how delicate it is. The doctors are still working on getting me there, but even if they fix me, I'll still be defective. Defective. To be imperfect or faulty. I'm defective to my core. The doctors can try. I am. I'm broken. I need all this fancy stuff just to try and be a normal human. Something goes wrong. I'm back to less than square one. And the thing that hurts me the most is that I know that I wasn't always this broken. There were days when I felt like I was flesh and muscle cobbled together to resemble something human. Like I'm missing something to show that I am, that I was human. These days I don't even feel that. I look in the mirror and I see something masquerading as something human. It may have a human brain for a processor, but the processor doesn't even work right. Dragon Gate. I don't quite know what that is. Do you mind if I look it up? If I'm pronouncing this right, Dan Longman, which could be translated as Dragon Gate, is a legend that states that if a carp manages to swim upstream and leap over the waterfall, the carp becomes a dragon. Though many carp try to become a dragon, few ever succeed each year. Is this what you meant by Dragon Gate? I see. So, why do you bring up this legend? No, the carp are not defective. Well, yes, not every carp can make the final leap. That does not make them defective. Because what makes a carp is not dependent on whether it can become a dragon or make a leap. A carp may struggle to swim upstream, but it is the struggle and effort to do such a Herculean task that elevates it to become a dragon. Failure to swim upstream once is not a sign of a carp being defective, but rather a sign that there is more work for it to do. And if they do eventually make the final leap, it makes the feat that much more impressive. achieving anything after a struggle is much more impressive than achieving without. I don't know. Trying to be someone upbeat and friendly when I know I'm not. Needing gadgets and gizmos to get the full human experience. It's a struggle. If it were anyone else, I'd be more than compassionate towards them. But to extend that to myself, I don't think I know how. If you know how, would you mind sharing with the rest of the class? What are you doing? You love me. Even though I'm broken. Even with my computer-aided voice and rubber-like skin. And my Swiss Army knife of an arm. And the fact that I'm not human. Don't mind my tears. I'm just crying. Tears of joy. Before you start worrying again. Could we stay like this? Just for a little while longer. Thank you.